Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a Perennial essence bag. I figured this was probably quite a good one to do, although obviously Christmas is very close, but it could be that you're going to somebody after Christmas. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas. So this is a lovely bag. Super easy to make. You need one sheet of cardstock for the bag. You need a sheet of cardstock for the layers. I've got the Blackberry Bliss here. And then you just need one panel of DSP for this bit. Okay, let me show you how to make it. So, my notes have gone. You need a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 11 inches, 20 by 28 centimetres, and on the long side, let me get my ends the right way round. On the long side, score it at 3 3/4, 5 1/4, 5 1/4, 9, and 10.5 inches, which in metric is 9.5, where is it? 9.5, 13.5, 23, 27. And then score it just, well actually let's do the short side first. Short side at 1.5, come back, sorry, 1.5 inches is 4 centimetres. Come back to your original format and just down to about the 5.5 inch mark, score it at 4.5 and at 9 3/4. So just to that. So your part scoring in metric at 11.5 and 25 centimetres. Okay, let me move that out of the way. Grab your ruler, swap your end. And what I'm going to do now is do a line from there to there and there to there and there and there. And that is so that you get this lovely crisp closure. And it's not going to pull or tug or anything like that. It's just going to be great. So I said to score it down to 5.5 inches, roughly 5.5 inches. So what's that? It's about 14 centimetres down. But you'll know it's not super close to the bottom. That's so technical. Okay, let me burnish these score lines. If you haven't seen it yet doing the rounds, we've got this Perennial essence paper, which everybody adores and loves, that I'm using on this project here. We have got a Celebration free paper, not dissimilar. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to get it free. Okay, so take a little nick off the top, just a teeny tiny bit, and then get rid of the rectangle, and then whoopsie, wibble and cut straight up your score lines. And cut in very slightly on those square bits. So always keep straight on the rectangle and cut into the squares. I didn't cut that side. Okay, so before I put it all together, I'm going to put the DSP and the cardstock on first. So I have got panels. So this is Petal Pink, and I've gone for Flirty Flamingo as the wonderfully clashing pink that happens to be in the paper that I'm using. You can just see it there. And I've done this twice. So my cardstock measures 6 1/4 by 3.5, which is 15.5 centimetres by 9. My DSP is 6 3/4. Is that too long? No, it's 6 by 6 by 3 1/4. Can't read my own writing. Which is 15 by 8.5. So let me do that again. 6 1/4 by 3.5, 6 by 3 1/4, which in metric 15.5 by 9, 15 by 8.5. It's hard work, isn't it? I'm very pleased. Why have I just put that over there? I've no idea. I'm very pleased that I quite happily work in metric and imperial without any issue, but I appreciate not everybody does. And so that's why I do 2 sets of measurements straight off, because no matter which way round I did it, if I did it in Imperial, lots of you would say, please Sam, can I have it in metric? And if I did it in metric, lots of you would say, please Sam, can I have it in Imperial? So I just do it all in one go, because it's easier then, and then it's everybody's covered. I like to be helpful. Okay, so one of these patterns was more appealing than the other. No, that's not right. It had less blue and more pink. Okay, so we're going to do that one there. And I've just put it upside down. You were all shouting at the video then, going, Sam, it's the wrong way up. You do look out for me, don't you? Okay. Love the fact that I'm on a new tear and tape. I gave my dad one the other day. He popped over, well, he and Mum popped over, and Dad was doing a project with his railway, and I gave him some special board that I have that actually, the only reason I have it is to stop the kittens walking across all my paper wraps. So I gave him that, and then I said, well, should we trim it while we're here, Dad? And he said, oh, yes, thank you. So out came the trimmer. And then I said, you know, what are you going to glue it down with? Well, I'm not sure. Out came the Tombow, because it was big sheets of paper that required a bit of wiggle room. And I said, do you need any tear and tape? Oh, yes, please. Dad went off quite happy, loaded with stuff. I will say that my dad does have one of these. He doesn't have it with this end on it. He has it like this. So this is the one with the paper piercer and the little spatula doodah on one end and the pickup thing. And when you buy it, you get these as spares. So, or whichever way round you fancy. So that's what it comes as, with the 2 ends of stylus, which you see me using. And then this part, the dye brush, is an additional extra. But yes, so Dad's got this. All sorts of stuff from me. I'm so nice, aren't I? Okay, so you can see that I've closed it all up while I was jabbering on. These score lines that I put in, when you push and you start at the top, and just use your fingers, and I don't know what that is on there, and work down, it means that your bag is going to close without any creasing. Okay, so I used the Nature's Poem twine for that one, but I'm going to bring in the Petal Pink. This is a ribbon I really haven't used very much, and I don't really know why. There's nothing wrong with it. I think I just don't use Petal Pink very much. So I thought I'd use it today. What am I getting hold? Why is that not pulling? There we go, I was holding the wrong bit. Actually, that's a really pretty ribbon. Maybe I ought to use it more. Okay. It's remarkably forgiving, actually. That's done quite a nice knot in the middle. So that's closed up. Now, on this one, I've done my flowers. I'm going to do some more, but I have prepared 2 of them already, because actually you need 2 per flower, which means you need 6 in total. So with my enormous sheet of A4, because I have no scrap left, I've brought in Floral Essence, part of the same suite, and it's this one here that looks like an aeroplane propeller, and I've got Flirty Flamingo. So Flirty Flamingo onto Petal Pink, and I'm going to take 2 more of those. And while the ink is wet-ish, well, it is wet, I'm going to try and make the colour bleed a little bit. It's not going to do it hugely. It's not going to have the same effect as the Blackberry Blisted on here, where the colour was bleeding all over the place and it was beautiful. This is still going to be just as lovely, just without the density of colour. Also, top tip for you, don't put Wink of Stella in the middle bit, like I have done in the past to pick up ink. Everything falls apart. Ask me how I know. Plenty of Wink of Stella on there. Let's make this super glittery, so just on the petals. I'm going to bring that up and see if I can tip it so you can get the glittery look. There you go, you can see it on these ones. Lovely. Okay, and then the matching flower punch. The name has fallen out of my head. Oh, what's it called? I don't remember. You get it as a bundle anyway, so you get both parts, which is, you know, everybody wants that. Okay, and then each petal, you're folding it in half. You don't have to be super duper mega accurate. Semi-accurate is okay, but just so it's roughly in half. Just to give the flowers dimension as much as anything. Let me bring that a bit closer for you. So it's just like that, and then I'm going to grab my mini glue dots, put one in the middle of the back, and then offset it there, just like that, and then I can just sort of scrumple, wonderfully technical word. These ones I've already got done. And then I want some flower centres, and actually on this one I use the faceted gems, but on this one I might use, if I have any, oh I have, I'm going to take 3 of these fluffy centres. Now everybody asks about this. It was randomly in the range, and I believe it's for the really useful boxes, the rub boxes. And yeah, it was just sat there and they charged me £2 for it, so I went, thank you very much, I'll take that. But yeah, everybody asks me about that, and it's very shallow, and it sits on top of another. It sits on top of a unit that I've got to the left. It's that's from IKEA. The unit, I want to say it's called a Kvissel, Kvissel, and it's the paper storage thingy. It holds A4 paper. 1, 2, 3, 4 pull-out drawers and a bottom part, so you've got 5 layers. And I keep my Whisper White, very vanilla black, my catalogues and scraps in it. Hold on, because you know I'm super clever like this. Oh, it's that thing. So that's just there, and that's my what's it sitting on it. I'm so clever, aren't I? Right, okay. Let's get some mini glue dots on the back of this as well. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to pop them on there. And that, I think, is a really rather lovely bag. Don't they look so different? That's all dark and moody, and that's like, yay! I'm all bright and lovely. Dark and moody, bright and lovely. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. I do like that. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.